Hello, I'm Beverly Thompson. Welcome to CityLife, dedicated to keeping you informed on Durham's important news and events. Now that Durham's downtown is thriving and considered by many to be a true success story for revitalization, the City of Durham is turning its attention and resources to the neighborhoods that surround downtown. One community that will soon benefit from a massive investment and community rebuilding project is Southside Neighborhood, which sits just south of downtown. Joining me today to discuss this immense project and the impact that it will have on the quality of life for residents who call this area home is Reginald Johnson. Reginald is the Interim Director for the city's Community Development Department. Welcome, Reginald, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Beverly.
Reginald, let's just get started with a brief summary of what this revitalization effort is and why it's a priority for the city.
Well, the Southside Revitalization area is a 125-acre area that is north of North Carolina Central University and south of the Durham Freeway. The reason it's a priority for the city is because there's been a lot of disinvestment in this area over several decades, meaning there are a lot of vacant homes, vacant lots, and there's really a need for investment in this area that's right south of downtown.
Well, what's the city's overall objective in this neighborhood and the building that's getting ready to get started?
Well, the city's long-term objective is to encourage private development to enter into this area. And this will enable us to stabilize the area so that there are more homeowners who live in the area, that there's not as many vacant or no vacant lots and no vacant homes.
Okay.
Site preparation has begun in the area already and will be continued through 2012.
Okay. Reginald, let's just talk about the Southside neighborhood as a whole. You and your staff have been working closely with the community members, I understand, and what have they told you about this neighborhood and how they feel about this big investment in their community?
The neighbors have shared with me and my staff that they're very excited about the prospect of this revitalized neighborhood. One of the challenges that they have shared with us is that their neighborhood went from home ownership to mainly rental almost overnight. And with that, that has brought some challenges that we hope to address within the community.
Okay. So tell our viewers about the type of housing rehabilitation that you're going to do then, as well as the new housing units that are now appearing in Southside.
Well, Beverly, there are three major components that we're going to help stabilize the Southside neighborhood. One is the high quality rental units that we're going to build. Those rental units will encourage people to want to live there. We want to have market rate units, but at the same time they're going to be affordable units. That means that people who are at 30% of the area median income as well as 50% of the area median income for the City of Durham will be able to live there.
Okay.
The other thing that we're doing is we're going to build new homes in the Southside area. We're partnering with the Center for Community Self-Help, which is a local nonprofit, as well as other builders, home builders, to build homes there. And the city is also rehabbing houses already. We have a couple of rehabs, major rehabs, substantial rehabs that are already underway for residents who live in the Southside community.
Okay, all right. I understand you're taking a holistic kind of approach in this area as well. My understanding is you're focusing on the human needs as well and looking at job training as well as other programs that would be interesting to the people who live there.
Yes, we have engaged in the charrette process with members of the community and held several discussions about what are their priorities. One of the priorities that was outlined by the community was job training. And so one of the things that we're doing to focus on the holistic aspect of the revitalization is to focus on job training, and we already have a contract with Milestones Culinary Institute. And what this does is enable residents of the neighborhood to receive job training in the professional cooking industry, where they will learn how to prepare food, all of the safety requirements that are needed to prepare food. We've also had a graduation already for the first 7 students who graduated from the program. And not only that, the exciting part about it is that they have an opportunity to take a safe serve test and this will provide them with a certification that they can use throughout the city. So not only do they have a certificate, but they would have a certification to go along with that. Now we've also started the second cohort of this program, which has about 17 students in it.
Okay, that sounds like it's successful already.
Yes, it has.
Wow.
It has, and this goes to the one of the top priorities of the residents, though, the need for job training. We also have additional programs where we're going to provide them with the opportunity to get some other types of job training as well as higher education.
Now I know you're looking at hiring 2 employees to help out with this and help engage the neighborhood more. Tell us why these positions are needed.
These positions are needed to help us, the city staff, serve outreach to the community and help the community get more information. So one of the things that we're doing, and we're partnering with the Office of Economic and Workforce Development to hire what we call a Section 3 coordinator. One of the requirements for a project of this type is that we have to look within the area of the project as one of the places for potential employees. So the Section 3 coordinator, which is housed in the community center at South and Enterprise, will be taking applications from persons who live in the area to assess their skills, and we put them in a database. And so that will give the contractors and the subcontractors a place to go to fill vacancies if persons are qualified for those positions. The second position that we're hiring for is a community outreach coordinator. This person will serve as a liaison with the community to connect community members with potential resources and provide information. And where that hiring process is application process is underway as we speak right now.
I was going to ask if you started recruiting for that. So.
Yes, we have.
Okay, and people can find more information about the job on the city's website?
Yes, they're on the city's website, that's correct.
Okay, all right. Reginald, I know there seems to be a lot of activity unfolding in Southside right now. In fact, for the first time, there's an active neighborhood association. Tell our viewers a little bit more about this group and what their goals are.
The Southside Neighborhood Association is doing great work. First thing that they're doing is convening, serving as a forum for the neighborhood. In the revitalization effort, one of the first steps that we take is to get the community organized and ensure that the community is organized to have a voice within the revitalization effort. In this particular instance, the Southside Neighborhood Association serves as that voice. They meet monthly to discuss challenges and opportunities that the neighborhood faces to come up with solutions. Also involved in the neighborhood association is city staff, and well as there's some community partners that also participate with the neighborhood association. So that it's not just the residents talking, it's also information coming in from other sources to help strengthen the neighborhood and stabilize the neighborhood and help the residents.
Sounds like a great effort.
Oh yes, it is.
It does. In fact, DTV8 recently attended the Southside Neighborhood Association meeting and talked with a resident and a self-help representative about Southside. Here's what they had to say about this revitalization project and the impact that it will have on all who call Southside home.
Marie Hunter, born and raised in Southside, been here for 60 years. I have a lot of family ties still here in Southside. So we just love Southside. We don't have the connection we used to have years ago. Neighbors laughing, children playing. We don't have that now. We just have a lot of crime, prostitution, and drug selling in our community now. Everybody now that basically want to come to Southside is looking to either use drugs or sell drugs, and we're trying to change that. It's going to aid because it's going to make better houses. Once they put a foundation in those spots that's vacant, we'll feel like that it's kind of merging the neighborhood back together again. We started back about 5 years ago with the Neighborhood Association. So the association is where we get together and plan and see different visions to go with our plans. So that's when the association came in with the city and self-help, and that's why we see this vision that we see now. I'm more hopeful about it because the city have came in and helped us a lot. And I think it was time for us to have somebody to come in and show us that they can come in and help us, because we were just at rock bottom. We didn't know where to go until self-help came in and said that they would buy the abandoned houses and tear them down, and we would see new houses coming. Then the city came in and showed us that this plan could go forward.
Self-help has been involved in Southside since around 2005 when we first began acquiring properties, working with the neighbors to target particular properties that may have been problem properties or that fit into a plan or thinking around where we might be able to start developing new homes going forward. We've also been active with the Neighborhood Association, which has grown tremendously over the past couple of years and has been instrumental in bringing some great programs to residents in the neighborhood. And we've been very active working with the city and with our partners to come up with a very implementable plan going forward. I am excited. There has been a lot of work done. There's still lots of work to come. There are deadlines to meet and deadlines to set. We have been excited to see the neighbors involved in providing input and guidance on the direction that they'd like to see the neighborhood go. We've been excited to work with our partners and with the city to come up with plans for affordable housing and plans for rental housing and for ownership for homes that would be available to folks who live throughout Durham that would like to live near town. I think this is a wonderful project and we're very excited to be involved. There are people who live here now and people that lived here many years ago that had everything to do with building this city up. And it is a pleasure and an honor to be able to work for some of those people now to help them build their neighborhood up. The most important thing to remember now is this is not a one-year project. This is not a 5-year project. Remember, we began in 2005 acquiring properties. This is a long-term project. That means we need to be thinking long-term and thinking about where we want our community to be in 10 and 15 and 20 years. It's not something the city can do alone. It's not something self-help can do alone, and it is not something the residents can do alone. But together we'll be able to with lots of other partners. And maybe 10 to 15 years from now we'll be able to celebrate some real new and exciting changes in this neighborhood. I'd just like to thank the voters and City Council for supporting the South Side and for working with us tirelessly to figure out ways to contribute back to the neighborhood as it's done for so many of us.
Well, Reginald, there really does seem to be a lot of excitement and anticipation about this effort.
Yes, it is. It is.
But, you know, no big revitalization effort ever comes without a lot of debate, and this project certainly has had its fair share, not to mention a very long road to get to where it is now. What would you say to folk who still have doubts about this area of the community, the fact that it needs help, and that this is even the right plan to put in place?
Well, probably, Beverly, the thing that I would say first is to look at the economic impact potential that this area has. Mm-hmm. This area is close proximity to downtown, mm-hmm. Where we have had a great deal of success here in Durham. And as part of that success, this is the next step. And so that's very important for not just the residents who live there, but for the whole entire city. And another piece of that, the community has had input every step of the way. We've involved the community through community meetings, and we've done this over a series of years, actually. And so we've involved the community. It does have great potential to be a transformational project for the City of Durham.
So if our viewers remember nothing else about this project, about the Southside neighborhood and the project that's underway, what is the one thing you'd like for them to remember?
I'd like to say that this is a transformational project that will benefit not just the residents of Southside community, but will also benefit the entire city. It also will benefit the generations to come. This is an important project, and I'm glad to be working with the Community Development Department to be leading this effort.
Well, Reginald, that's all the time we have for in this segment, but stay with us for our next segment, okay? All right, we're going to take a quick break now, but coming up in the next segment, we're going to take a look at the rental phase of the Southside Revitalization effort and what's in store for this important area of our community. We'll be right back.
Get on board the Bull City Connector, a fare-free route connecting Durham from the innovation of Duke to the history of downtown to the creativity of Golden Belt. The Bull City Connector is fare-free, frequent, and fun, connecting visitors, business travelers, students, and downtown workers to key destinations in and around Durham. So get on board the Bull City Connector Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to midnight, plus Saturdays and holidays. For more information, call 485-RIDE or visit bullcityconnector.org.
For every one of these spots, there are at least 5 to 24 others for you to use. Many folks think that people with disabilities are getting special treatment with these parking spaces, but it's really a safety issue, not a convenience. Many drivers backing out of a parking space can't see a person with a disability. Remember, accessible parking is a civil right built on safety. For more information, call the Americans with Disabilities Act Information Center at 800-949-4232.
Without gun violence, people are whole. Without gun violence, families are intact. Without gun violence, communities are solid. Without gun violence, futures are secure.
Together, we can reverse the effects of gun violence in our community.
Join Project Safe Neighborhoods campaign in the fight against gun crime.
A message from the City of Durham Police Department.
Traffic and weather. Due to an accident. Say what you say, act how you act, play how you act.
468, look 12 and hands, open up me what I'm going on, swerve comment.
You're lucky, ma'am. This guy's gonna make it.
Thank God he's okay.
Next time, slow down to get around.
Black male, about 9 years old, sitting in the middle of the road on Route 12.
Traffic and weather. Due to an accident.
Say what you say, act how you act, play how you act.
468, look 12 and hands, open up me what I'm going on, swerve comment.
You're lucky, ma'am. This guy's gonna make it.
Thank God he's okay.
Next time, slow down to get around.
Black male, about 9 years old, sitting in the middle of the road on Route 12.
Make a new friend today. Adopt your next pet at the Animal Protection Society of Durham.
It's sleek, powerful, and efficient. And this crime fighter is on North Carolina roads and coming to a city near you. If you're drinking and driving, watch out for the Batmobile. The breath alcohol testing mobile unit is a remote processing station and mobile courtroom for immediate on-site forensic tests and judicial appearances. The Batmobile, law enforcement's latest tool in the fight against drunk driving. Remember, it's booze it and lose it.
This message brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Welcome back to City Life. I'm Beverly Thompson, your host. As the Southside community begins to flourish again, the eastern part of this community is also getting ready to undergo a major revitalization effort as well. Joining me again to talk about what's in store for this area and what residents can expect and when they can expect to see progress is Reginald Johnson. Thanks for joining us again, Reginald. Reginald, the eastern side of the Southside Revitalization effort is currently a vacant parcel. It's bound by Roxborough Street, Lakewood Avenue, and Fayetteville Street, and Piedmont Avenue. And I understand things are just really getting ready to take off in 2012. For our viewers who may not be familiar with the former Rolling Hills, can you briefly tell us about the history of this portion of the Southside community?
Yes, Beverly, I'd be glad to. The site that we know, or formerly known as Rolling Hills, is a 20-acre site. It was first developed in the 1980s by a developer. That developer started developing patio homes and single-family homes, but the developer was not able to complete the project and became insolvent. In the 90s, another developer came in and tried to do some work in the neighborhood on that parcel, those parcels, by building other additional types of homes, but also they were not able to complete the project as well. The city ended up foreclosing on the property. There were existing homeowners, but the city ended up foreclosing on the developer to take control over some aspects of the site. And so it is a very lovely site, overlooks downtown, and one of the reasons that we're even involved in this project is because of the view of that site and the view that it has on downtown. It's spectacular.
It is. It's a very nice site. So who is the city's developer on this site, and why were they chosen? So
the city entered a request for qualifications process, RFQ process, and we selected a company by the name of McCormick Barron Salazar out of St. Louis, Missouri. McCormick Barron has been around for quite some time and specializes in inner city rental developments. They've done them all over the country with great success. And we were able to select them in our process and have been working with them for the past couple of years to get this project started. And they were able to actually gain some tax credits to develop these high-quality rental units.
Okay, all right. So what's in store for these vacant lots, and when will folks start actually seeing work done on the site?
So the goal is to have 132 rental units. 119 of those will be for rent. The 13 of them will serve as live workspace. These will be units that face Lakewood that can either be live units where people can live or work, because as you remember, Lakewood is a sort of a commercial corridor. So that's the project that McCormick Barron will be working on.
Okay. Well, why is this a good type of housing mix, and why is this a good fit for the community? And how will the rental phase tie into the western portion of the existing Southside neighborhood?
Well, in this neighborhood revitalization, our goal is to provide all the different aspects of housing that people would want to live in that make a neighborhood. And so you have some rental, you have some home ownership within the neighborhood. So we have rental that will be for affordable, but we also have some rental that will be market rate, so that anyone who desires to come and live in the area will be attracted to come and live in the area. But also those who live at 30%, 40% or 50% of area median income will also have the opportunity to live there. But also one of the things that we've learned is that, and this is nationwide, that mixed income units, mixed income neighborhoods provides are stable neighborhoods. And so that's one of the things that we want to promote with this project.
Again, how have the Southside community members been involved in helping to identify the needs of their community and even the design of this whole project?
So one of the things that we've done for the homes is that we've had a design process and worked with an architect, and residents have had input into how the houses will look. And remember that revitalization doesn't mean replacement. We want to work with the existing community so that the work that we're doing integrates with history and the character of the area as it presently exists. So the homes will be homes that will fit in with existing homes. That's the reason we're doing a rehab program, rehabbing existing homes, but those homes will be matched with new homes in the area. And also the rental units will also be designed in a way such that they're companion and compatible with the homes that are also in the Southside community. So that'll be totally integrated.
Okay, a lot of thoughts going into this whole effort, and that's a good thing for the community. But obviously, a development this huge is not inexpensive, costs a lot. How is the city paying for this work, and who are we working with to accomplish this project?
So the city is using several different sources to accommodate this, to build this project. We estimated that the rental portion is going to be about $20 million. Some of the sources including using some of the entitlement funding that the city receives from the federal government. We're also using some bond program income that we received from previous bonds that have been issued, housing bonds that have been issued within the city of Durham. And also McCormick Barron Salazar has received tax credits, which is a major portion to this project because it brings in equity investment and private dollars from other parts of the country that will come in and invest in Durham.
Okay. Well, Reginald, DTV8 recently attended a design review team meeting and talked with a representative from McCormick Barron Salazar about this project and the partnership with the community and the city. Here's what he had to say about this project and its impact on Durham.
We really started working in earnest back in the fall of 2009. We started a community planning process which was held in the South Side. It involved the South Side community as well as city and other stakeholders that are interested in the project. And we did a very exciting community planning process over a period of about 3 months, which resulted in what I call the Revitalization Plan for the South Side, which was not only for the Southside East project, which we're working on, or the former Rolling Hill site, but also the adjacent neighborhood, of which Self-Help and some other partners are working with the community on. Revitalizations like this, are a work in progress. They're a living, breathing thing, but it's also a great opportunity for people in the neighborhood to continue to have input into the project and make it even better. And it only works if they embrace the vision. And that's part of why the whole community planning process was so important, is because to make sure that they feel this is the right thing for the neighborhood. If it wasn't the right thing, then we wouldn't be where we are today. And hopefully by our efforts, we'll bring more folks into the neighborhood that'll be homeowners. There's a really great base there right now of residents, and we can just grow that, and that's going to help turn it into a great neighborhood. No, I think from the beginning we realized that we are just one piece of the puzzle on this thing. We're one cog, we're one developer that's going to do redevelop a piece of this neighborhood. But we truly can't be successful. Our development is not going to prosper and the neighborhood's not going to grow unless there is additional development around that, and that's where self-help and the Southside Neighborhood comes in, because they're very, very dedicated, and we've been working together from 2009 to make sure that it's a holistic neighborhood revitalization. It's not just going to be a rental development standalone. It's going to be something that really rolls up the hill from Lakewood and really creates a new neighborhood over time, where there's home ownership opportunity, there's a rentals opportunities. It's going to be kind of what we call in the good old days, a naturally occurring mixed income, mixed use neighborhood, and that's what we ultimately see as the long-term outcome. And again, we're only one piece of the puzzle. We need the city, we need self-help, we need the Southside Neighborhood residents and association, everybody working in concert, and we've done so far. We've had a great relationship with everybody, and we need to keep it going over time. And if we can do that, it's going to be a great neighborhood of choice for the City of Durham. First piece is going to be the grading and site preparation work for the entire 20-acre site. They'll see a lot of earth moving and grading equipment up there. In March of 2012, we expect to give the notice to proceed and award that work and get it started. Shortly thereafter, probably 2 months after that, late spring of 2012, we expect to start the public improvements work for phase 1, which will involve installing new streets and sidewalks and water and sewer lines and street lights and street trees that'll serve the first phase of the development. That work, again, we hope to start sometime in May or June of 2012. And then all that is in preparation for building the housing itself of the first phase, which is 132 units, 80 affordable units and 50 market rate and live-work units. And that work should be started about June or July, no later than August of 2012. And we would expect that to complete at the end of around 2013. That we would have the first 132 units available, ready for occupancy by sometime in the fall with some of the buildings, to as late as early winter in 2013, ready for folks to move into.
Well, Reginald, that really does seem to be a very sound game plan and a coordinated effort for this site. And it looks like everything is starting to get rolling on this.
Yes,
yeah. Well, you know, this project really has been a long time in coming, and certainly has had its share of doubters as to whether or not this is a right move for the city, especially in this community. What do you say to those people who are still very doubtful about this project?
Beverly, what I would say was, yes, this project has been a long time in coming, but the project is here and we're moving forward. The city has assembled a great team. We have great city staff. We have great community leaders that have been having input into this project. Also, very important, we have solid, proven external partners, organizations that are assisting us, McCormick, Barron, Salazar, and the Center for Community Self-Help among the leaders in those. And with that team, we think that we have the greatest opportunity to maximize our success for this project. The project is exciting, and we're glad to be a part of it here in the City of Durham.
It sounds like it's going to have a tremendous impact on Durham for years to come, actually.
Yes, yes, that's what we're hoping.
Well, if our viewers want to learn more about this project, where should they go? What should they do?
Well, the first thing that they should do is go to the city's website, www.durhamnc.gov. You can go to the Community Development Department, and then you can click on Southside Revitalization to find more information. The other source that you can call the department directly, 919-560-4570.
Great, okay. Sounds like you have a lot of passion about this project.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm glad that we're making good progress.
Great, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Beverly.
All right, well, that does it for this edition of City Life. If you have a comment or a future show idea, email us at publicaffairs@durhamnc.gov or call us at 560-4123. Don't forget to like DTV8 on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to find out how to tune into this show, City Hall This Week, and all of the city's programming. You can also watch DTV8 on demand at durhamnc.gov/DTV8. I'm Beverly Thompson. Thank you so much for joining me to learn more about City Life in Durham.